Here we go again. The very latest Chelsea transfer news and rumors, with Chelsea now providing a fresh perspective on two rumors. With João Pedro now confirmed as Chelsea's fourth summer signing, focus is now surely on sanctioning some exits in the ongoing transfer window. The Brazil international has joined Liam Delap, Dario Esugo, and Mamadou Sarr in having moves confirmed, with a Jamie Gittins announcement also on the horizon. That is close to £200 million committed, and even though the Blues may be in a strong financial position, made even more powerful by the new accounting year starting in July, some exits will be required to balance out that spending. João Felix and Christopher Nkunku are the most likely players to raise significant funds from exits, but Noni Madueke and Jorge Petrovic are others potentially for sale at a decent price. If several departures are sanctioned, attention could then turn on to new signings, with West Ham's Mohamed Kudus a target. David Ornstein has revealed during the Athletic podcast that Chelsea may try to negotiate a swap deal with Arsenal for Noni Madueke. I think a lot appeals to Arsenal about that, Madueke's profile, because he can play on the other side too. He'll be known to many of the Arsenal players. He's London-based, and Chelsea, as we've discussed already, are always open to conversations about trading, doing business. They're not averse to them. You see some people just putting the not-for-sale sign up and blocking any communication, and that's not the case with Chelsea on pretty much any of their players, you could say, and therefore it's clearly one Arsenal are doing some work on. Conversations are more on the player side at this point. I don't know of anything club to club at this point. That can change very quickly, but that's accurate at the time of reporting. We don't know of sort of any agreements at this point. Madueke will have a say in it as well. If Arsenal really come forward and say, we really want to make this happen, does Chelsea want to make it happen? But clearly that's a fluid conversation at the moment. Generate the titles and thumbnail images. Delap superb, Achiampong wows, Santos debut, and Nkunku poor. Chelsea player ratings versus Esperance. Chelsea will face Benfica in the FIFA Club World Cup round of 16 on Saturday, after the Blues cruised past Esperance 3-0. At the Lincoln Financial Field. Enzo Maresca made a whopping 8 changes to the side that were beaten by Flamengo for the test against the Tunisian team. For the majority of the first half, it looked like a team with a lot of changes, but the Blues came alive in stoppage time of the opening 45 minutes. Enzo Fernandez's free kick was headed in by Tosin Adarabioyo to give Chelsea the advantage, and moments later, it was 2 for the West Londoners. A fine solo goal for Liam Delap was a welcome sight for supporters who continue to be impressed by the £30 million signing. The second half was a low-key affair, but the Blues did add one more to their tally. Tyreek George, on as a late substitute, struck from the edge of the box to put the icing on the cake in a 3-0 win for Chelsea in Philadelphia. The victory for the Blues sees them book a place in this weekend's round of 16 against Benfica in Charlotte. Below, Bobby Vincent rates the Chelsea players that featured in Philadelphia out of 10. Philip Jorgensen, 6, making his first appearance of the tournament. Showed great composure under pressure on 10 minutes after a rather heavy pass from Malo Gusto. Quiet night for the Dane. Josh Achiampong, 8, great to see him back out on the pitch. As always, looked tidy. Almost scored his first Chelsea goal around 36 minutes in. His ball carrying is so impressive. Tosin Adarabioyo, 8, a fine header on the stroke of halftime to get the ball rolling for Chelsea. His 5th goal of the season for the Blues in all competitions. He is making a real habit of it. The FIFA Club World Cup will see 32 of the world's best club teams, including Manchester City, Chelsea, Real Madrid, PSG, and Bayern Munich, play across 63 games from June 14th to July 13th. Benoit Badiashile, 5. A couple of silly fouls early on. Looked a bit rusty. Malo Gusto, 6. Did really well a few minutes in to recover and save the day for Chelsea, showing excellent speed to get back in position. Fine cross for Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall on 20 minutes. Better from Gusto. Romeo Lavia, 6. Extremely comfortable in possession and was always trying to be positive with his passes. Enzo Fernandez, 7, got 2 assists. The first one in particular was impressive, delivering an inch-perfect free kick to find Tosin. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, 5. His first appearance of the competition thus far, and almost found the back of the net on 20 minutes, with his header being cleared off the line. Out on the right wing, he was unable to have the desired impact, however. Christopher Nkunku, For Maresca said on Monday that the Frenchman had been training well, and the head coach showed his faith in the forward against Esperance. However, Nkunku was sloppy in possession and went backwards too often. Looked like he would get a moment to make an impact when Chelsea were awarded a penalty late on. Nkunku, with the ball in his hands, was made to wait a while before the referee went to the pitchside monitor and overturned his initial decision. Just his luck. Noni Madueke, 5 quiet, started on the left-hand side. He has had a few decent games there, but the balance is not quite right. You feel as if he needs to be coming off the right onto his left foot. He did produce a couple of nice moments, the least you expect from a player like Madueke. Liam Delap, 9 superb. Even when Chelsea were not clicking, Delap was the shining light for the Blues. And when Chelsea were clicking, he got himself on the score sheet for the first time since joining the club earlier in the month. A wonderful solo goal, with some really nice footwork before a composed finish. Really impressive. Substitutes Marc Guiu, on for Delap 60 minutes. 6 more minutes for the Spaniard. He was not able to get involved, but to not fault of his own. Chelsea approached the second half like a training session given the temperature in Philadelphia. Dario Esugo, on for Lavia 60 minutes. 6 great to see the new signing again. Passed it well in there. Andre Santos, on for Fernandez 68 minutes. 6 a huge roar and a big sigh of relief when Santos's name was read out on 68 minutes. Played in a pivot alongside Esugo. Thought he had won a penalty after forcing a handball, but the decision was overturned. Tyreek George, on for Madueke 68. 7 Nice for him to get a goal at the end. Decent strike from the edge of the box, although the goalkeeper should have done much better. Mamadou Sarr, on for Gusto 83. NAA debut. Nice moment. Here we go again. Latest Chelsea transfer news, as reports suggest, the Blues have held talks with Randall Kolo Muani, plus Bayern Munich are said to be targeting Jamie Gittins. The transfer window is heating up, and Chelsea's Premier League rivals are already strengthening their ranks. Top-flight champions Liverpool have just shattered their club record transfer fee with the arrival of Florian Wirtz, while the Blues continue their efforts in the Club World Cup. Enzo Maresca's side have learned their Premier League schedule, and their campaign gets underway against the FA Cup holders, Crystal Palace. But their efforts in the United States may come to an end if results go against them, and they lose to Esperance. Liam Delap is one of their high-profile arrivals at Stamford Bridge this summer, joining for $30 million on the eve of the tournament alongside Dario Esugo and Mamadou Sarr. The transfer window reopened last week, and while Chelsea's focus has been on the events in the USA, that hasn't stopped rumors surrounding the activity in West London. Bayern Munich rival Chelsea for attacking hotshot. According to Fichayes, Bayern Munich have joined the race to sign Borussia Dortmund attacker Jamie Gittins. The English prospect has captured the attention of Chelsea, who tried to test the Bundesliga club's resolve prior to the tournament. However, Dortmund stood firm, leaving the Blues with limited options in wide areas. Gittins' future at Signal Iduna Park looks uncertain, with reports elsewhere suggesting that he has already, verbally, agreed a contract in West London. However, the outlet has now claimed that Bayern are looking to the winger as an alternative after seemingly losing out on Nico Williams, who is reportedly on the verge of making the move to Barcelona. Football. London says Bayern Munich are increasing their pursuit of attacking options, especially after losing out on Florian Wirtz to Liverpool. It comes as no surprise that they are looking to sign Gittins following reports that Bayern are looking at Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo. Chelsea have earmarked Gittins as an option and would not wish to pursue an option, only to miss out weeks later. Randall Kolo Muani talks emerge amid Chelsea call. In a report from L'Equipe, Chelsea are reportedly tracking Paris Saint-Germain striker Randall Kolo Muani. It remains to be seen whether the France player has a future with the Champions League holders after spending time on loan at Juventus this season. The outlet has suggested that talks have been opened over the 26-year-old after a successful short-term period with the Serie A club. Juve are reportedly keen on making the move permanent, but face competition from Chelsea, who would have undoubtedly been impressed by his showing in the Club World Cup after his brace helped the Italian club past Al Ain. There is no mention of a specific price tag, but reports have emerged in light of doubts that have been cast over Chelsea striker Nicholas Jackson.